Good afternoon. This is Cracker's Crazy Living. It is Sunday afternoon at about 10 to 2 in the afternoon. Wow, it's already 2 o'clock. Today I'm going to do apricot jam for you. My son and my daughter-in-law and I went down to Pine Island Road in Cape Coral last weekend and got some apricots and almost forgot about them, but we're gonna make they're still fine, so I'm gonna make some apricot jam out of this today. So I thought I would come on and show you the steps of how to do this because I don't have a video on this yet. So I thought that would be a good thing. I'm trying to get these little tiny stem things out because you don't want stems in your jam, and these stems can be kind of a bugger. Some of them have a couple of little bad spots on them. I'm just gonna cut those off. But the thing with apricots is you don't peel these. You just cut them in half, get the pits out, and then you just chop them up and you put them in a bowl and then you process them. I've got sugar here and I've got my sugar gel here, so I'm gonna get started with the process. Just trying to get you situated so you can see what I'm doing. Put my apricots over here. There, I think that's a pretty good angle. Put my bowl over here. Put my apricots over here. Let me get a sharp knife. Some of these apricots are a little bit too soft to try to run them in my little chop thing that I like. So I'm just gonna get the pits out. So you want to get these little pits out. Apricots are kind of in the plum family. They have a seed very similar to the plum. Just kind of twist them sometimes if you can't get it out. Sometimes it can get a little bit stuck in there. So yeah, an apricot, that's what the inside of an apricot looks like, in case you don't know. So you're just gonna want to take them, and I'm just gonna chop them into pieces. I could probably take the firmer ones and try to put them in my chop thing, but I don't think I'm gonna worry about it, because this is going to be cooked jam anyway, so you don't need them mashed or anything like that, because they're going to get soft when you cook them, and they're going to cook down a little bit. So you just want to take them and cut them into little chunks. You don't want huge pieces either, even though they're going to cook down, because you want smaller pieces on of jelly or jam on whatever you're putting it on. So I washed them. I took the labels off because it seems like fruit has labels on everything anymore. Get that pit out. And then chop them up. So I'm not going to bore you with this process. I'm going to go ahead and do these, and I'll be back. Okay, so now I got my apricots all chopped up, and I have quite a bit. I have over 8 cups of apricots. I had about 29 pits, and I know that we weighed them, but I don't remember what the weight was when we bought them. So I just opened a package of sugar gel. This is what you use to make jam with, or jelly. And you get a recipe guide right here in the box, piece of paper with your recipes on it. So under the apricot, it says to use approximately 3.5 pounds of apricots, 2 lemons. I don't use the lemon because I put citric acid on my apricots, because apricots are kind of like peaches. They will turn brown, so does apples. So instead of having the lemon juice, I use the citric acid. And you can buy that at Walmart in the canning section. It's just a bottle that says, it's right here. It says citric acid. It does say used for tomatoes, canning tomatoes, because you use it for that too. So you need 5 cups of finely chopped apricots. And if you're using lemon juice, it would be a 1/4 cup of lemon juice and 7 cups of sugar. So the one thing about doing homemade jam is you definitely want to have your ingredients measured precisely. You can't say, oh, I'm going to use this much sugar and this much, because it don't work that way. You have to have exactly what it tells you. So 5 cups of apricots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I probably have enough to do in 2 batches. I probably have enough here to do another batch. Maybe. So now I am going to do the cooked method. And the cooked method says to measure the exact amount of sugar into a separate bowl. Okay, all right, yeah, I'll do that. 7 cups of sugar. Stir 1 package of Sure Gel Premium Fruit Pectin into prepared fruit or juice in a saucepan. Add a 1/2 teaspoon of butter or margarine. That keeps your stuff from foaming when it comes to a boil. Bring to a full rolling boil, one that does not stop bubbling when it's stirred. On high heat, stirring constantly. Add your sugar to your fruit in the saucepan. Return to a full boil. Boil exactly 1 minute, stirring constantly, and remove from heat. Skim off any foam if foam is necessary, and then you just ladle it into your jars and put your lid on it, and then we're going to water bath it. And we're going to water bath, let's see. All right, so you're going to process jam for 10 minutes. So we're gonna make it. We're going to jar it. We're gonna put it in the water bath canner. And I have other videos on canning that that cover that process. So I'm probably not going to videotape that step because I already have videos out there that show that. So we're going to make it, and we're going to can it, and then I'm going to put it in the water bath, and we're going to bring it to a full boil with the lid on, and then we're going to boil it for 10 minutes, and we're going to turn it off, and we're going to let it sit for a couple minutes, and then we're going to take the lid off and let it sit for an additional 5 minutes. Then we're going to be able to take our jars out. So I probably will come back when it's time to put the jam in the jars so you can see how many jars I'm going to get. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I am filling my jars with this hot mixture. You need to be very careful when you're doing this step because it is so hot. And if you've ever been burnt by hot sugar, you know that can be a very bad burn. So just trying to be very careful. At doing this, I don't want to burn myself. so messy. And of course, I'm the queen of mess, as everybody, as you well know. Just trying to fill up each jar to about a 1/2 to 1/4 inch head space. I might be able to get one more jar. Let me grab one more jar. All right, so before you put your lids on, you want to make sure that you clean your threads off. Very important step. So I just take a damp paper towel and I just wipe the rims of all my jars, because if you get any of that sticky on there, your lids are not going to seal, and you've done all this for nothing. I mean, it'll keep in the fridge, but the whole point of canning is to be able to store it in your pantry or in your jelly cabinet. Like I have a old-fashioned jelly cabinet that I love. It's all over the place. And even though I have a funnel, it splashes. So you just want to make sure you get every jar rim wiped off good. Some of them are messier than others. The jars are very, very hot. Wipe this up. So out of this one batch, now I did add a 1/4 cup of, I didn't have lemon juice, I had key lime juice. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to put any juice in there because I tasted it. It's kind of tart. It's already tart. Sometimes the apricots can be tart to begin with. I didn't want to make my jam more tart. I want it to be sweet. So, and the only thing the juice does is counteracts the browning. So I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jelly jars and one little squat jar like this. I think that's a 1/2 pint. I think these are 1/2 pints. I like these for jelly and jam because it just makes it easy for sharing. So now I'm going to go get my canner and get that prepped up for canning these. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get my canner, get it in here, get it prepped up. And everybody knows that if you've been following me, how to do the water bath. You're just going to fill your water bath with water. You're going to put a couple tablespoons of vinegar into it. I have white vinegar. That kind of helps keep the jars from getting cloudy, and it just keeps everything nice and clean. Then I'm going to put my jars in there. I'm going to bring it to a boil. I'm going to process it for 10 minutes, and then we're going to turn the stove off, and we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes with the lid off, and then they're going to come out, sit on the table, and they're going to be sealed. So I'm going to go ahead and just sign off for today. Thank you for joining me to Crocker's Crazy Living. If you have not subscribed to my page and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. It will notify you when I have another video. And give me a thumbs up and share me with your friends. I would really appreciate that. And I'll catch you next time on another Crocker's Crazy Living. Okay, have a great week coming up, everybody, and stay safe. Talk to you later. Bye.